Let's talk about one of the most stressful projects any of us will ever take on, finding a new job. It can feel like absolute chaos, right? Just a total scramble. But what if you could flip that script? What if you could turn it into a streamlined, strategic operation? Well, that's what this is all about. How to take back control, starting right now.
So, does this sound familiar? You've sent out, I don't know, dozens, maybe hundreds of applications. Your desktop is just a graveyard of resumes named resume_final and resume_final _V2 use this one. You're losing track of who you've talked to, what you've said, and honestly, the silence from most companies is just deafening. You're not alone. It's an incredibly common and super frustrating place to be.
But listen, it doesn't have to be this way. The key is to stop just reacting to job postings and start managing the process. We're going to walk through a new way of thinking about this, a framework that helps you take command of your search, cut down on the anxiety, and believe me, dramatically improve your results.
So here's our game plan. We've got 5 key stages. We're going to start with the right mindset, then build the systems to support it. After that, we'll dive into mastering the interview process, handling offers like a total pro, and finally, and this is a big one, we'll talk about how to keep your momentum and your sanity going.
First up, and this is probably the most important mental shift you can make, it's time to ditch the whole spray and pray approach to job applications. Just mass applying to everything that moves. It feels productive, I get it, but it's a strategy that's very often working directly against you.
So let me introduce you to the first gatekeeper, the Applicant Tracking System, or ATS. Just think of it as a company's digital historian. It doesn't just scan your resume for keywords, it logs every single time you apply, creating this permanent profile of you and your history with them.
And these things are everywhere. A mind-blowing 99% of Fortune 500 companies use an ATS. So what does that mean for you? It means for most big jobs, optimizing your resume for a machine isn't just a good idea, it's the ticket you need to even get your resume seen by a human being.
So how do you beat the bot? Well, it really comes down to 3 things. First, keywords. Think of the keywords in the job description as the secret password. You got to weave them into your resume, but naturally, of course. Second, formatting. Keep it simple. The robots get confused by fancy tables and fonts, so standard is always safer. And third, quantify your impact. Numbers pop. They don't just impress recruiters, they are data points that these algorithms are specifically programmed to look for.
Okay, so you've shifted your mindset from quality to quality? Awesome. Now you need a command center to actually run this operation. This is where we build the practical systems to track everything, so you can finally get rid of that feeling of chaos and stop making preventable mistakes.
When it comes to tracking your applications, you've basically got 2 main paths. You can go old school with something like Google Sheets or Notion. It's more manual work, but you have total control. Or you can use specialized platforms like Teal or Hunter that automate a lot of the process with things like one-click job saving. Honestly, it doesn't matter which one you choose. What matters is that you pick one and use it religiously.
Now, this might seem like a tiny detail, but trust me, it's a huge signal of your professionalism. A messy file name just screams disorganization. A clean, consistent system like this makes life easier for the recruiter, and more importantly, it saves you from that moment of panic where you wonder if you sent the right document.
And where are you keeping all these perfectly named files? Well, it's the classic trade-off, isn't it? Cloud storage is amazing for accessing your files from anywhere. Local storage gives you total control. You know what? Either one works. The non-negotiable part is having one central, organized place for everything. It's your single source of truth, and it is key to staying sane.
Hey, it's working. Your targeted approach and your awesome system are paying off. The interviews are starting to come in. But this phase isn't just a test of you. It's also your chance to evaluate them. You've got to approach this as a mutual assessment, not some one-sided interrogation.
Here's a really powerful strategy for when they ask, "Do you have any questions for us?" You're going to have 2 types of questions ready. First, unique questions tailored to each person you talk to. That shows you've done your homework. But second, and this is the clever part, have a few key, consistent questions that you ask everyone. When you compare their answers later, any major differences can tell you a lot about the company's culture and whether they're all on the same page.
And this quote just says it all. The interview is a two-way street. You are a valuable professional with skills to offer. You are also interviewing them to figure out if this role, this team, and this company are actually the right move for your career. It has to be a true match.
So you've made it through the interview gauntlet, and bam, success. The offers are coming in. How you handle this stage is absolutely critical, not just for this job, but for your professional reputation down the road.
Following up is an art, and it's all about timing. This little protocol is your guide to being persistent without being annoying. That post-interview thank you note within 48 hours, non-negotiable. Do it. For applications, you give it a bit more time depending on how you applied. The whole point is to show you're proactive and professional, keeping you top of mind for all the right reasons.
All right, and finally, let's talk about the part of the process that nobody talks about enough, managing your own energy and your mental health. A job search is a marathon, not a sprint, and avoiding burnout isn't just nice, it's a strategic necessity.
This might be the most important mindset shift of all. Rejection is going to happen. It's inevitable. But how you frame it is totally up to you. Don't see it as a personal failure. See it as data. What can you learn from it? Was the role not really a good fit anyway? Could your interview answers have been stronger? Looking at it objectively is what keeps you resilient and helps you get better.
And here are some actual concrete things you can do to protect your well-being. Time box your search. Treat it like a 9 to 5, then shut it down for the day. Set tiny, achievable goals, even something as small as research one new company, just so you feel like you're making progress. And please, do not go through this alone. Talk to friends, mentors, anyone. Your support network is a huge strategic asset.
Which brings us right back to the final question. Are you managing your job search or is it managing you? By being targeted, by building a system, and by taking care of yourself, you can completely flip that dynamic. You can move from chaos to control, and you can make your next career move with confidence and with purpose.